Yo, Boro, what is up, bro? How you doing? How you doing, brother? Good to see you. First person on the stream, like always, the GOAT. Truly my biggest supporter. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you big time. How you doing? How's your day? How's your day going? Let me know. Just want to wait for a few more people to pop in here, but we're gonna be covering. So I haven't read One Piece chapter 1077 yet. I've been waiting on it, but obviously it's been so long now that a couple spoilers have come my way. So I do know a few things. Probably everyone's already seen it now, so I can go ahead and tell you guys. I know that Sanji fights with the Seraphim version of Jinbei. That, and I know that what's his name? Shaka gets shot. I don't know how. I don't know how exactly, but I've seen thumbnails of Shaka getting shot. So those are the two things that I know, and that's about it. But I'm assuming it's a chill chapter. It's not a crazy chapter. Otherwise, I would have heard a lot more. So Shaka getting shot might have been the biggest thing, but I don't have any context behind it, so I'm excited to see that. But let's just wait for a couple more people to get in here. And actually, if you know where I can read SBS 105, please let me know, because I'm not full. I know the main things anyways, and that's what I want to discuss. Like, I know everything about Zoro, Tama, and Chopper, and I want to discuss those three things more than I want to discuss the chapter. That's mainly what this stream is, hence the thumbnail. But we're gonna get through the chapter first while people come in here. So we're gonna start with the chapter. Let people come in here, talk about the chapter. We're probably going to stream for a bit. Hour and a half maybe, I'm thinking. Maybe 2 hours if it gets longer. But there's really no deadline. Like, I don't got to go anywhere anytime soon. I just got back home after 3 weeks. So I'm excited to just chill for a bit, get back on One Piece and see what's going on. I'm fine, bro, as soon as I see you put out the video. That's what I'm talking about. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. Don't worry. The videos are coming. It's been a real busy last few weeks. But what I might do is I might I'll see if I can put out videos kind of like teching style, where I don't have to edit so much just for now, so that at least I can get videos out to you guys, because I've found myself now having so many different video ideas and so many scripts and just endless ideas, but because for the next little bit of time, I can't really put out videos with as much consistency as I was. That list just keeps growing and growing and growing. Like, I have like 10, 12 videos right now that I want to do. I'm ready to record, but there's just no time. Plus the editing of all of it. Right now, specifically, this very moment in my life, there's no time for that. For like the next 2-3 weeks maybe. So I might have to just do it where I'm just sitting down here and discussing with you guys, unedited, raw version, and put videos like that out for now. And then when I can again, hopefully very soon, I can edit it properly once again. But I don't want to stop the consistency. Like, just seeing now how long it's been. I don't even know, like 2 weeks. When was my last video? Let's see. My last video was on the 25th of February. That bothers me. And now it's the 13th of March. Like, that really, really, really bothers me. Because I set out to put up a video every Tuesday and every Saturday. That was my goal. But just for right now, I can't. It's basically impossible for me to do that. But I'm going to try and get as much out to you guys as I can. All right. Let's just jump into the chapter. And people will come in, hopefully, as we go on. So, like I said, I've been spoiled on Sanji and Jinbei. Sanji versus Jinbei, and Shaka getting shot. That's about it. Okay. One Piece chapter 1077. You should have put it together sooner. Reading this on TCB right now. Here we go. Okay. You should have put it together sooner. We got Vegapunk. They're thinking. So we got Judge versus Caesar. And they're both exhausted. Like, they both. Okay, they just fought because they have the bumps on their heads. So they just fought each other. And they're thinking about Vegapunk. Both of them. And they're fighting in front of. Oh, this is current time. This is right now. On Whole Cake Island, because they're both still there. Okay, Cold-Blooded Voyage, Volume 32. Wait a sec. It's all Vegapunk's fault. So they're fighting, and then they stop fighting and realize that Vegapunk, it's all his fault. So now that's their common enemy. Who knows? This might set up something later on in the future. But here we go. Here's the chapter, boys. Let's get it. Fabio Stratum Egghead. So we have Sentomaru here. What is Sentomaru thinking? You guys have to get off of this island. Huh? What are you talking about, Sentomaru? Tell us. What's going on here? Why did you deploy the Pacifista? There was once an island called O'Hara. One day, out of nowhere, it was wiped off the map. All because the people there opposed the world government. I think this is like I said in the Rocks video, I think this is basically the same thing that happened with Rocks, but instead of everyone there, it was just Rocks. But he was that much of a threat. A refresher on the O'Hara incident. The island of O'Hara was host to the largest library in the world. Scholars gathered there to conduct research on the poneglyphs, despite the topic being taboo. The Navy was eventually sent in to eliminate everyone on the island, including villagers. Nico Robin was the sole survivor of the massacre. And we see Demon Child, 79 million berry bounty. Insane. The fact they're targeting Grandpa Punk shows how serious they are about erasing him. They're willing to lose the world's greatest mind over this. By the way, let me know. What's up, GR Max? How you doing, brother? Welcome to the stream. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be, like the title says, we're going to be going over One Piece Chapter 1077. I haven't read it yet, so this is my official live reaction to it. And then what I mainly want to discuss today, once we're done with the chapter, we discuss the chapter, we're going to get into the SBS, because I really want to talk about that today. SBS 105 and stuff with Zoro. I know I'm late. I'm hella late. Every YouTuber has already covered it. I think like 2 weeks ago it came out, but better late than never, right? Here we go. Also, guys, let me know if the sound is too loud or too quiet or anything like that, and I can adjust it. But let's continue with the chapter. The fact they're targeting Grandpa Punk shows how serious they are about erasing him. They're willing to lose the world's greatest mind over this. That's why I think whatever's coming will be even more monumental, and this place will be ground zero. Huh? Hurry, Straw Hat. What's going on up there? That's why I think whatever's coming will be even more monumental. What does that even mean? They're willing to lose the world's greatest mind over this. That's why I think whatever is coming will be even more monumental. Control room, 4th floor, building A. This is Zoro and them, right? Yeah. Huff, huff. What's up with these guys? Kong, Oregon. Handgun, Yellow Lotus. Take that. And we got Luffy and Lucci on Kuma, and the Seraphim Kuma. S-Bear. And then we got Kaku fighting S-Hawk. Tempest Kick. Onslaught. Oh, and then Zoro comes in. One sword style. EI? What is that? EI. One sword style. EI. Oh, 1A1? Whatever it says. Lethal Lion Song. So the Shishi's son, the thing he gave to Kuma in Thriller Bark. And it looks like the Tempest Kick and the Lion Song both blitzed the hell out of S-Hawk, and he's cut. But he's probably going to tank this. Knowing the Seraphim. Yep, they both tanked it. Kuma tanked it, S-Hawk tanked it. What the heck? They're getting to... Wait, was Luffy in Gear 4 as well? Yeah, he was. His Gear 4 is becoming less and less relevant now. What the heck? They're getting up way too easily. Do they think they're Kaido or something? Cut it out already. Hey, this chapter is just full of clues and is full of different events. Well, let's find out. Let's find out. Now that you mention it, they remind me of King. That guy I fought in Wano. A Lunarian on Kaido's crew. I never caught what his people were called. I see. That must have been Albor, the test subject who long ago escaped Punk Hazard with Kaido. The Seraphims owe their toughness to his Lunarian blood. No kidding. I gotta admit, I remember when I first read that chapter that introduced the Seraphim. I think it was 1059 with Blackbeard, Boa, and Kobe. When I first saw S-Hawk, I didn't think of Mihawk. I had to re-look and think of Mihawk. But he looks like King as well. He really does. Like even here, we see King and him side by side and on different pages. Obviously, he does look more like Mihawk facially, But because his skin color, his hair, his like face, like his mannerisms, the way he holds his face, his wings, all of that matches King, and then his face is kind of like King as well. Because to be honest, King and Mihawk do have some kind of facial similarities. I don't know. He reminds me more of King than he does Mihawk. In that case, pay attention to the flames on their backs. Our attacks will only be effective when they go out. He was practically invincible when he was on fire. Luffy versus S Bear, Zoro versus S Hawk, Sanji versus S Shanks, and Jinbei will fight Boa probably because Frankie and Usopp and others are stone. Hold on. Let me read the chapter. Before we get into that. My bad if I'd clocked it sooner. My bad. If I clocked it sooner, I could have saved us some stamina. Our attacks will only be effective. In that case, pay attention to the flames on their back. Our attacks will only be effective when they go out. He was practically invincible when he was on fire. My bad. If I clocked it sooner, I could have saved us some stamina. No matter what this intel, we can finally make some progress. Yeah, there wasn't much about King to clue me in. He only had a couple of unique features. White hair, brown skin, black wings. Oh, shit. Hold on. This guy says there wasn't much about King to clue me in. And goes on like a detective. White hair, brown skin, black wings, and the flames on his back. You should have put it together sooner. All of them. You see Luffy, Lucci, and Kaku all pissed off at Zoro. Oh, that's jokes. Hey Helmet, where are you going? I think I may know where the Stella's gotten to. Don't get in the way. I think I may have known where the Stella's gone to. Why would Shaka have just figured out where the Stella is now? Don't get in the way. We're in a bit of a rush. Oh, now the Seraphim is showing emotion. He's showing anger towards Zoro blocking him. Interesting, because none of them have shown any emotion as of yet. Third floor, building A, Nami's group. Okay. Let's go, Zeus. Yeah, we can't treat him like a kid, so Nami is fighting Jinbei. Like I said, I already know Sanji fights him as well. Why is Brook on the ground? And who's that? Pythagoras? He's a heartless machine. One of our friends has already been ambushed, and he basically totaled Edison. Yeah, Pythagoras is with Frankie's group. This is Edison. He's definitely not a kid, and he's not cute either. That's right, Nami. Don't hesitate. Close your eyes if you have to. Just fling me, and I'll handle the rest. She's got her eyes closed, swinging at S Shark. Thunderbolt. Right through Jim. Damn, why is this Jinbei fat as fuck? He's way fatter than Jinbei is. Jinbei's pretty fat, but this guy is fat, bro. And Zeus goes right through him. Knocks him out. I'm sorry, Jinbei. No way Nami just beat a Seraphim with one hit when you got Zoro, Luffy, Lucci, and Kaku all trying to deal with them, and they can't. They can't damage them. Nope. Okay, he uses Senor Pink's fruit. Splash. Splash? He dove down again. Nami-san, run. He's coming from below. It didn't work. What? Obeyed. What is obeyed? The numbers used might be up. Hold on. So, we got Zeus looking shocked. He comes back up from the ground behind Nami. And he's about to hit Nami. And Brook sees it. And it says obeyed. And then, if I ruled a country, my decrees would be simple. Decree 1. Anyone who threatens Nami-san will face capital punishment. This is Brook talking. Decree 9. Anyone who makes her scream will receive... This guy is just going on. The numbers used might be a pun, as 9 and 1 can be combined to form Kiwi, which can imply fishing or seafood in some contexts. Okay. And Sanji comes in. Sanji comes in hot with the dropkick. A rare fillet. Oh, so was that Sanji saying that? Ah bade a rare fillet strike, and he kicks him right in the stomach. Wait, so was that Sanji saying all those things about if about Creed 1, Creed 2, or was that Brook? I think it was Sanji. Sanji-kun, are you okay, Nami-san? I can take care of this. You won't get another warning, small fry. Look at his face. This is the panel I kept seeing of Sanji. This face right here. I don't give a damn if you're a kid or if you're another Jinbei. I'll be your judge, jury, and executioner, Jim Brat. Third floor, building C. How dare you petrify York? And we got Lilith. So this is Frankie's crew, right? And then Bubble Gun, Lilith, booty sticking out and everything, goes after what's her name? S Snake. So they're gonna go 1-on-1. Whoa! She just brushed it off. Like, what happened? What happened? They're running at each other, and then there's like a hit effect on Boa or S Seraphim Boa's arm. Like she got hit or something. Whoa, she just brushed it off like it was nothing. Okay, so Lilith hit her, and she brushes it off. Falls to the ground. What? Oh, she goes into acute mode. Green blood gives you the pros and cons of having a fruit ability. And these bubbles were designed to harness the ocean's energies. They're your weak point. Oh. So it's basically like Sea Prism Stone. Because the Seraphim basically are devil fruit users, right? They basically are devil fruit users. Each and every one of them. Chapter 1078. Captured Nami and Frankie and expected Kizaru was fighting Zoro and Sanji. Nigga, this better not be spoilers. This better not be spoilers. Please stop talking about future stuff in the chat, man. Please. That's not what we're here for right now. It's already Monday. I'm pretty sure spoilers have come out. If you want to talk spoilers, go somewhere else. This is not. I don't want to know any spoilers, so please don't talk spoilers in the chat. Yeah, you're freaking awesome, Lilith. I catch her while she's down. I'll catch her while she's down. Stay back, you impudent lot. Guess it's already worn off. That's because it's only Gray's turn. So she kicks Frankie. Uh-oh, she's mad now. Frankie comes from behind. And she goes back into like, is she trying to make them feel sorry for her? Take that, you rascal. Frankie, you genius. You use that bubble perfectly. Give it up already, runt. This is agonizing. She's getting them. It's okay, GR Max. It's okay. Just now that you know, it's okay. I just don't I don't like to even read. I don't like spoilers at all, right? I avoid every spoiler I can. So I don't even want to be spoiled on this chapter, let alone 1078, right? So it's okay. I apologize if I said that a little rudely. I just thought I was under the assumption that you knew, so that's my bad. But yeah, please no talking about anything that's happening in the future of One Piece. That's guaranteed. Basically, no spoilers in the chat, please. But let's continue. Perfume, few more, and she got Frankie. Because he felt sorry because she went into like her puppy dog mode, and he felt sorry for her. So the devil fruit is in effect now, and she kicks him. The petrification power is no joke. This petrification power is no joke. Frankie's turning to stone. He's gonna die. Bubble gun. Here comes Lilith. Here comes S Snake. Goes into cute mode. Gets oof. She's too OP. She's the best. She's the best Seraphim. Winky. Aww. Love mellow. Boom. Got Lilith and Usopp. She's too OP. This might be more OP than Hancock. Because everyone, right? Boy or girl is gonna... Well, even Hancock, I guess. Everyone was like lusting over her, but... I don't know. I think this is more common. to get someone to just feel that you're like adorable, right? Brang's Drums of Liberation. How's it going? What's up, brother? It's going good. Right now we're reading One Piece 1077, and then we're gonna do an SBS breakdown right after this. So stick around for that. How you doing, brother? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. I feel like this is how weak Frankie is without his battle robot. So he got racked by a kid. No problem. Yeah, that's true, but this is a little different, right? Like, I think Sanji would easily get racked by this too. A lot of people would, because remember, Bull's fruit is just pure hacks. It doesn't necessarily mean she's stronger than everyone that she gets, right? Or even now with this Seraphim. It doesn't mean that Frankie's weak because he got. It just means that's one of his weak points. Sanji would get got in 1 second. Zoro no. Luffy no. Jinbei, yeah. But even guys stronger than Zoro and Luffy would too. The only reason I'm saying Zoro and Luffy is because of their personality. They wouldn't. Zoro definitely wouldn't. But it's a personality thing more so than strength. But I do agree. Definitely agree that Frankie is significantly stronger with his suit. But he can pull that out anytime he wants to, right? Underground Old Devil Fruit Research Lab. Old Devil Fruit Research Lab. Here we go. Going good so far. That's good. Ringo, what is going on, brother? Yo. What's up? What's going on? We're gonna be reading. We're reading 1077 right now. Live reacting to it. I haven't read it. Haven't been spoiled on much, so we're reacting to it right now. We're nearing the end, maybe halfway through, and then we're gonna discuss SBS 105. That's when it just came out with Zoro, Otama, Chopper, all that stuff. I haven't had a chance to give you guys my thoughts on it yet, so I'm gonna go in detail with that during this live stream. So stick around, guys. It's gonna be a good one. Brang's Drums of Liberation says going good so far. That's good to hear, bro. GR Max says, is real Bull Hancock found out about is I felt like real Bull Hancock find out about is I felt like bit Boa is going to use a scary face on Kid Boa and Kid Boa is going to be like I messed up and the next thing that happens. Brother, I have no idea what you're saying. I don't really know what that's supposed to mean. Okay, so we have Shaka here in the old Devil Fruit Research Lab. Who's there? Are you the one behind all this? So he was telling Luffy he knows he has an idea now. He thinks he knows where the Stella is. But what triggered him? They didn't show us what happened in that scene that triggered him to know. And now he's here. Are you the one behind this all? Come out and show yourself. It can't be. You're those Cypher Pole agents. I thought you had come and gone ages ago. Why are you here? Save us. I don't want to die. Oh, he finds him. He found the Stella. Shaka, Stella. So this is where you were. Who could have done this? I'm so glad you're okay. Let me help. Say, Shaka, who's that you brought with you? What? Oh. What a panel. What a panel. Holy shit. Look at that. Look at that kickback on his head. Look at that. Look at that arch. The bullet right through him. He got shot point blank through the face with an exit wound. He's done. He's dead. I think even in One Piece, right? You get shot in the face. If you get wait a second. If you get shot in the face in One Piece, surely you're dead, right? Unless you're like Kizaru, yeah, he has a Logia ability, but that's why no one has ever been shot in the face aside from Kizaru, and he had a Logia. But sure, if you get shot like 100 times in the chest, you can survive that. It's One Piece. We saw how much it took to take down Whitebeard, but in the face, Shaka, and the Stella Vegapunk is shocked. He's been shot. What? What's going on? Who was that? And he falls to the ground. And someone is walk, snuffing out hope with a single shot. Who's doing this? Who did we not see in this chapter? What group did we not see? Robin's group, right? Who's with Robin again? Is it York? Is it Robin? Wait, what Straw Hat is with Robin? Chopper. So it's Robin, Chopper. We saw Edison. Pythagoras is with Frankie's group. Shaka's here, obviously. Lilith we saw with Usopp's group. And Pythagoras as well. So is it York or is it the other one? I forget. Or the one that Lucci beat. But York is with Robin's group. They haven't shown that. So if it is York, they can go back and but it's not any of the other ones that we've seen this chapter. There's no way. It doesn't make any sense. Or it's probably not even a Vegapunk body. Snuffing out hope with a single shot. And whoever it is, Vegapunk, the Stella body now knows, oh, look at that color panel. They now know who it is, right? This is my favorite panel of Egghead. Seriously. This is my favorite page of Egghead. Like this spread right here of Shaka getting shot. And Vegapunk behind him is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I feel like Kid Boa face will be swelling up once Big Boa finds out about what happened. I feel like Kid Boa face will be swelling. Oh, you think like Boa Hancock is gonna beat up this Seraphim Virgin of herself? Potentially, that could happen. Because if they ever ran into each other, I feel like that's the first thing she would do, right? I feel like her everyone else in Amazon Lily will be like, oh, that's so cute. It's kind of like that cat, and she'll just kick it and be like, how dare you try and imitate this beauty of mine? It's such a Boa thing to do. I mean, if the real Boa Hancock found out about what Baby Boa did, Baby Boa is gonna wish like she never met Big Boss. I agree. I 100% agree, GR Max. I agree with that statement. Doubt it. It happened way too fast for it to be a death. I don't know though. Okay, tell me one person in One Piece that has been shot in the face, in and out, point blank, and has survived. And I know like Pell has gone through worse with like the nukes. That's way worse. But stuff like nukes and getting shot in the torso, it's kind of explainable in a manga, I guess, or anime like One Piece. But how do you explain someone getting shot in the face and surviving? Unless it's gonna be like, I don't know if you guys remember in Bleach. Do you guys remember when Kenpachi stabbed Noitora in the eye? But he had a mask, but he had an eye patch, and then he removed the eye patch, and it was like a hole, so he never got him. Well, no, I was gonna say because Shaka has a mask on, that might have something to do with this, and maybe he has like a hole in his head. Maybe he has no head. I don't know. Maybe it didn't hit his head, but there's blood. There's clearly blood all over that spread. So this guy got shot in the face. Point blank. Hey, think about this. Kizaru is behind this. First clue, Kizaru is light, so you can see his movement way fast, and only light can hit you that fast. You won't even see it coming. How did I not even think of Kizaru? Well, hold on. That's a great point, Max. That's a great theory, but this is the traitor from the beginning, right? So, well, no, it's never. It could be Kizaru, and it could be because there's no bullet hole. It could very well be a light beam. Oh no, there's a gun. Never mind, there's a gun. Hey, who's that you brought with you? They're holding a gun, whoever it is, and we know it's the traitor. It's gotta be. It doesn't make sense for it to be Kizaru. It's gonna be the traitor that's been doing all this stuff, that's been closing off, sealing them in, playing all these mind games. The person who's been here the whole time. It's gonna be them. But Kizaru is a good point. It might be Kizaru, who knows? So it's someone Vegapunk doesn't know. Yeah. That's a good point too. That's a very good point. Because he says, who's that? What does he say? He says, I just read it. Who's that you brought with you? Yeah, you're right. It's the Stella. Vegapunk does not know who it is. So it's confirmed not a Vegapunk body. Unless they're covered up wearing a mask or something. But I think that's overthinking it. I think it's someone new. What if Kizaru can like break time so that his movement can't be seen from other people? Well, Kizaru wouldn't need to break time to do that. He moves at the speed of light, right? People won't be able to see him anyways. Like, if Oda really used him as light, it would be like The only time I've seen Kizaru in the anime where I really appreciated how they showed his speed was with X Drake when he kicked him in the face. When he kicked Apu, and you see X Drake's reaction to him kicking Apu, and while he's still processing what's happening to Apu, like 3 miles from him, he gets kicked in the face before he can even like understand that Kizaru is no longer where Apu was. Because we see Kizaru teleport away from Apu, and before Drake can even react to that, like, huh? He gets kicked in the face. That's how fast light speed is, right? That's how fast it should be. So that was really good, but I haven't seen much like that. Like there was nothing like that in Marineford. Remember Atlas getting taken out. Remember Atlas getting taken out. Yeah, Kizaru is my theory. It could be Kizaru. I just think it's building up someone else, right? It's building up the traitor or whoever it is. Like all this stuff that we've been seeing with them closing the stratum, with then there's someone else as well, because Vegapunk was calling someone that's not this person. So there's a lot of mystery, and it could be someone new. Who else could it be if not Kizaru? Burrow says. I don't know. That's why I said earlier. I said in another video, I don't have any theories. I really don't have any theories on who the traitor can be. Because I think we were all supposed to think it was one of the Vegapunk bodies, but it's clearly not now. To me, it's clearly not one of the Vegapunk bodies. But if it's Kizaru, I would think Vegapunk would know the admirals, considering he's worked with the world government for decades. He doesn't have to know all of them, but the 3 admirals, everyone knows the 3 admirals, right? Especially the OG admirals, because Kizaru has been an admiral for as long as we know. And Vegapunk has been working with the world government closely for as long as we know. So Vegapunk absolutely knows Kizaru, what he looks like, and who he is. So I don't think it's Kizaru. And the narrative of it is like, it's pointing towards it being the traitor, not necessarily just being a random person like Kizaru. But it could be Kizaru. I just don't see it being Kizaru personally. Max says, what if his awakening can be like he can not only freeze time, but he can make time so fast that the person won't even see him. I think that's more of something on Shanks' crew. I think something like that will happen on Shanks' crew, because Kizaru doesn't really need that, and it doesn't really make sense with his devil fruit. That's more of a, if anything, that's more of a hockey thing or a time fruit. I don't know who it is anymore. I have no idea. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. You guys are saying it's Kizaru. I'm saying I don't think it's Kizaru, but I can't really present a better option. I can't. I don't know who it is. I'm almost leaning towards a new character at this point. A new character that we don't know. What if is Vegapunk robots trying to take control? But Vegapunk didn't recognize it. He would have recognized one of his own robots, right? But right now with Shaka, he said, "Who is it? Who's that behind you? Who's that you brought with you?" Ringo says, Kizaru is not the type of guy to act undercover. He would just pull up and blast everything. Kizaru would show up with 100 ships. Yes, thank you, Ringo. That's another great point. Very great point. Look at what Kizaru did in Sabaody. He just came in, kicking down the front door, destroying everything, making as loud of a noise, as big of a ruckus as humanly possible. Like, even with those 2 fodder guys that were trying to run away with him, he blew up a whole part, like a whole, like you know how Sabaody was like mini islands with each tree. He blew up a whole one just for fun. That's how crazy and out loud Kizaru is with his actions. And his mission here, I'm assuming, would be to kill Vegapunk, right? Or to at least take control of the situation. So there's no need for Kizaru to go undercover with his mission. So that's a fantastic point, Ringo. I agree with that. Shiryu would use a sword. Shiki would use his leg swords, most likely. What if Proto Fruit exists where you can attack people from afar, but you need to target a specific person? But it's not I don't think it's a Proto, because we saw the barrel of the gun, right? So someone is just directly behind him. And with Shiryu or Shiki, I don't think it's going to be any of them, because Blackbeard's going to need Shiryu right now. He's fighting Law and his crew. He's got Garp on the way, and potentially has got Katakuri on the way. I think he's got Katakuri on the way. So I don't think Shiryu is going to be the guy. And I think Shiki will be saved for more endgame. They're not going to drop a major thing like that in Egghead. I mean, you never know. I just don't think they would. I'm leaning towards a new character at this point. Or someone like... No, you know what? Could it really be... Because this reminds me of Doflamingo shooting his father. Kid Doflamingo as well. With the gun behind his father, turns around, boom, shoots him, right? This is the same style, kind of. Same kind of gun it looks like, too, where it's behind Shaka. Shaka turns around, boom, shoots him. And the Seraphims are kid versions. They look like kid versions of the adult warlords. And we haven't seen S. Flamingo yet. And Dofi is the kind of guy that would shoot, right? Dofi is the kind of guy that would do something exactly like this. Joker. That Joker side of Dofi, that underground type of guy, would do something like this. But, once again... Vegapunk, the Stella, didn't recognize it. But you know what? It could really be, who's that you brought with you? Maybe he just doesn't know that they formed a Doflamingo version of a Seraphim. What's up, Passy? How strong do you think Shiryu is? How strong do I think Shiryu is? I put him in my top 30. That video that I made. I had him around like 25. So I have Shiryu just below. Basically, I had 26 was Jozu. So I have him above like Jozu, King, Katakuri, Sanji. But I have him below Law, Kid, Zoro, and Yamato. I have him below them. But I do think by the time he fights Zoro, he's going to be a lot stronger than he is now. The same way I have Blackbeard under Luffy right now. But by the time they enter and start their fight, Blackbeard is going to be significantly stronger than Luffy, in my opinion. And he's probably going to have killed Shanks and maybe even acquire a third Devil Fruit. So I think there's more growth space for Blackbeard and Shiryu right now to endgame than there is for Luffy and Zoro. What if is Seraphim Sniper? So what are the Seraphims that are left? Doflamingo, Crocodile, and Moria. Doflamingo and Crocodile would shoot. They would definitely do something like that. Not just the sneaky part, but the specific part of shooting. I can see them both doing it, but especially Dofi. So right now I'm leaning towards S. Flamingo, but I'm not putting my money on it. I'm not putting all my money on it. Like I have no actual theory about this. What if it's the guy with the bomb fruit? I mean, he might have been sent on some mission. You mean Crocodile's Mr. 5 from Baroque Works, from Whiskey Peak? That guy was fodder though, right? The guy with the bomb fruit. No, that guy had he had a bomb fruit, yeah. Because he was flicking his burgers and they were exploding. You're talking about Mr. 5, right? Let me know, Max. Shiryu is probably above Admiral level, putting him above Aokiji, and Shiryu is the first mate. No. No. Don't get on that meme of Shiryu being above Aokiji. He's not. He's definitely not. And we all know it. Come on now. Yeah. Okay. It could be Mr. 5, but I would like to see, because we've seen Mr. 1's fruit ability, Mr. 5. Oh, you know what? Well, it's not a bomb. It's a gunshot. But you know what it could be, actually, now that I think about it? We've seen these Seraphim have Devil Fruit abilities of not just warlords, but warlord subordinates, right? Like Senor Pink, like Mr. 1. Well, you guys remember, what's her name? Baby 5? You remember her Devil Fruit ability? If you guys remember Baby 5's Devil Fruit ability, it was, I don't remember the exact name, but she was able to, create weapons out of anything, right? Like, her arm could turn into a gun. Her other arm could turn into a sword. She could just turn into she could pull a pistol. Her hand could turn into a pistol, a giant machine gun, all that stuff, right? So, what if this gun, what if this is one of the Seraphim, like S. Flamingo? No, sorry, yeah, okay. What if this is S. Flamingo with Baby 5's Devil Fruit? And he just turned his hand into a gun and shot Shaka. S. Crocodile has Crocodile Zone because VP cannot copy the Logia. S. Croco, the Seraphim, has Crocodile Zone. Oh, like the zone. Oh, okay. has like a zone of a crocodile because VP cannot copy the Logia type. What do you mean VP? S crocodile has a crocodile zone because VP cannot copy the Logia type. Let me know what you mean by VP. I'm not too sure what you mean. How long have we been going here? Okay, we've been going 40 minutes. All right, guys. So now let's get into the good stuff. It is time for the main event. Let's talk. You guys know me. My favorite character in One Piece is Roronoa Zoro. It's Zoro and Shanks, but every day, like some days it's Zoro, some days it's Shanks. It's basically those two. But Zoro's one we see more. Zoro is one of the most controversial characters in One Piece because some people love him too much. That causes a lot of people to hate him out of spite. So it's very rare you see people that feel neutral about Zoro. They either really, really love him or they hate him because of how much others wank him, basically. And with this news, you had everybody talking about Zoro. Zoro's probably the most talked about character in One Piece, seriously. If you take all the negative, all the positive put together, he's probably the most discussed. And SBS 105 just destroyed Zoro. Not really, but I'll give you guys my thoughts on it. So I wrote some notes here because it was honestly a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. And I wrote this a while ago when it first came out, and I'm not gonna remember all of this. So Zoro's family. So with Zoro's family, I can't speak for everybody. I can't speak for Zoro fans. I can't speak for Zoro haters. I can only speak for myself and the way I feel about this and the reasons I feel the way I do about this. I'm not saying this is the way everyone should feel. I'm saying this is the way I feel and why I feel this way. Personally, I don't care about Zoro having a strong family. Not only do I not care or never cared about Zoro having a strong family, I actually wished he didn't have a strong family. His family was ordinary. Because everybody in One Piece has a strong family. Luffy, Ace, Yamato, Sanji. Every Straw Hat that we've seen their family basically has a strong family. And all these other characters have strong families. So many people, it's like if you have a parent, if you have a father, they're going to be strong. Usopp. So I'm so glad Zoro's just a normal dude. Sure, his father and his grandfather were swordsmen, but they were average. And then he strove, because the difference between Zoro and every other character is Zoro strives for strength. He doesn't get stronger so that he can be more free, be a pirate like Ace, like Luffy, like Yamato, so he can fight anyone that gets in his way. Like, these people use strength as a means to an end. Strength is Zoro's end. It's not a means to an end. Strength, being the strongest, is literally Zoro's end. So no character in the story strives for strength like Zoro does. And I love that because now what this shows is that it shows that everything he gets, he got from himself. It's not no Gear 5, Destiny, ever since the day he ate it in the bar, he was destined to be that guy, or he has like Monkey D. Garp or Monkey D. Dragon's blood. And this is no knock on Luffy. I think these things are great because they fit Luffy, being the protagonist. But with Zoro being a regular character, I think it's really great that to see that now that we know he's going to be the strongest and he's going to beat Mihawk like he vowed, he's going to do it strictly because of his hard work and his dedication and his will, and not because of family and nothing like that. So I love that part. I really do love that part. Vegapunk. Oh, Vegapunk. Crocodile has his own made because Vegapunk cannot copy the Logia type. Oh, yeah. Wait, did he say you can't copy the Logia? He did. Yeah, he did. Think about someone outside the box. So that's what I think in terms of Zoro's family. Now with Pin Zoro, such a troll of a name, and then Roronoa Arashi dying to East Blue Fodder, I love it. I actually like that because it makes Zoro more special now, right? And in terms of Zoro not getting a backstory, this is what I think about it. I honestly think when Oda took that month-long break after 1053, I think it was, Wano didn't just change us. It changed Oda and his writing style, I think, where he had like an epiphany. He's like, yo, I just wrote the arc that I wanted to write the most in the entire story. Like he always said, he wanted to write Wano. I think more so than Marineford. He was hyping it up. Him and his editors were hyping it up for years. And to see it receive such hate from the extreme fans, although like the casuals will say it's the best arc in One Piece, better than Marineford. I'm seeing that a lot from casuals, which is fine because I can definitely see why they would say that. But and even if you're like an extreme One Piece fan and you loved it, don't let anybody tell you that you can't love it. You can love it, but I think a lot of people, when they love One Piece so much and they're so like into it, they look at like the fine things, right? The smaller details and things that they specifically were waiting for in the story because they were able to analyze these things from early on. And when they didn't get that in Wano and they got all this other BS, like all these other Kaido characters that did not matter, like Batman and all this shit, how many chapters of Wano could have been erased altogether and it would not have affected the story at all, right? That's especially the first act. So Oda finished, I think, this is what I think. Oda finished Wano. He's like, yo, I'm getting love. I'm getting a lot of hate on the pacing and the unnecessary, keyword unnecessary, amount of things. Whether it's characters, whether it's backstories, whether it's drawn out fights, unnecessary material that took up time. So I think guys like Sanji in Whole Cake Island, guys like Law and Doflamingo and Dressrosa, they were before Oda had this epiphany where he was more, because we know Oda, he says multiple times, he will want to do like he'll want to do something in like 10 chapters, and he'll end up doing it in like 20, 25 because he's having so much fun with it. He'll be like, let me add some more characters, let me add some more things going on, and he'll just stroll along with it, right? And he likes to make things drag out like that. Like he'll take something like this and stretch it out to this. He loves to do that, which is good, but it didn't work in Wano, in my humble opinion. It really didn't work, and I think Oda picked up on that. So now he's like, back then he was able to draw out Law, draw out Doflamingo, draw out Sanji, their backstories and what they mean. Doflamingo as a character, how much time he got as a character, where we saw him in Law's backstory, his own backstory with Corazon. He didn't give that now to... I think he had plans to do that eventually for guys like Kid, for Zoro, for Kaido, and even more so bigger than Sanji, because Zoro's a bigger character than Sanji, Kid is a bigger character than Law, Kaido's a bigger character than Doflamingo. They were just more so endgame, big flashbacks, right? Like he was saving the best for last. But in that process, he had an epiphany where he's like, I can no longer do this. I can no longer drag things out. So now guys like Zoro and Kid and Kaido are going to have to suffer the consequences because he took so much time in the past with Dressrosa, with Whole Cake, with Wano, that now it's like, sorry guys, but that's it. Those guys took your time. Now you're going to have less time. I got to cut out anything and everything that is unnecessary. So Zoro, I think, is suffering from that now, where probably Oda just sat down in his office and was like, Zoro, what do we need? Do we really need anything from his backstory? His editors are like, no, we don't. That's it. All right, let's move on. So that's why I think Zoro was thrown in an SBS. I don't think it was Oda just like trolling Zoro fans or not caring about Zoro. I think this is Oda part 2, Oda 2.0, ever since 1053. So you can't look at Sanji and Law and things that happened in Dressrosa and Whole Cake Island and compare that to now, because Oda's on a whole other mindset now. That was pre-Final Saga. This is Final Saga. Unless you're Luffy, Blackbeard, or Emu, not even Emu. I don't think Emu needs a backstory, and Luffy already has one. Unless you are Blackbeard, unless you are Marshall D. Teach, you're probably not getting a proper, full, fleshed out backstory at this point in the story, because it's endgame, and it's just like everything that's gonna be put in now is gonna matter. And I'm not just talking about fights or characters. I'm talking about every page. Just look at Egghead. I would say basically every single page we got in Egghead impacted the story. We're not getting new characters and this and that. We got quickly. Like we got introduced to the Vegapunks. That was it. And then before we knew it, CP0 broke in. Before we knew it, Luffy in Gear 5 is fighting Lucci in his awakened form. Before we knew it, Zoro's fighting Kaku. Then before we know it, we get the whole plot twist with Stellar, and we're like, what the fuck? And then now we have this. It's moving, right? Like we're moving now. So it's a different Oda. You can't compare that Oda to this Oda. That's what I think. I feel like Oda wants us to think it's someone who's showing so that he can mess with us. Yeah, I agree. He didn't say he couldn't. He said it's difficult. How strong do you think Zoro will be end of series? I think Zoro will be the second strongest character of all time end of series after Luffy. And the reason I say that is because his goal is to be the strongest character or the strongest swordsman. But he's the only one that actively wants to be the strongest of something, right? What else did I want to talk about? Let me go through this. So let's talk about. So that's basically my thoughts on Zoro. Like, do I like what happened with Zoro? No. Do I hate it? Yes, I do. Straight up, I do hate it. But I understand it. But here's the part that I hate, where I criticize Oda. Why did you tease Zoro's flashback in Wano, bro? And I know that like that was probably Oda before he knew he was gonna rush shit. So he probably knew. I mean, at that point, I think when he was teasing the stuff with Shimotsuki Oshimaru, he was planning a full-on. Like, there's no way you're gonna tease the way he did that, like so subtle with the stuff with Oshimaru in Wano about Zoro. If you knew that you were just gonna do this and drop SBS 105, no, I think he had a full plan at that time. He was in the peak of Wano. He was just having a great time writing chapter after chapter. He's like, he's probably thinking he's gonna do like tons of more chapters of other arcs coming forward. But I think after Wano ended, he got exhausted, and he's like, I think it's partly he got exhausted and partly he saw some of the backlash, and he's like, we got to keep it to like what's important now. So even though I'm sitting here saying why did he tease Zoro's flashback, honestly, I let it go because I think it's a different Oda. I think this is a second version of Oda now. This was basically Oda's time skip. And what I'm trying not to do anymore, personally, is I'm trying to not compare Oda from before to Oda of now. Because he has a whole different writing style now, it looks like. And now he just wants to get the important stuff. So yeah, Sanji got a whole arc, the year of Sanji 2016, I think, and all this stuff. And Zoro don't get shit, but I completely understand why. If what I'm saying is again, this is all speculation, but if that's actually what happened, like, I don't know, right? I'm not Oda. I'm just assuming here, speculating. But if that is what happened, then I completely understand, and I just let it go. At this point, I'm just like, you know what? The one thing I would say is just don't even give it to us. Why even give us the information on Zoro? It's not needed. Just let it be. Sometimes nothing is better than like a little bit. If that little bit is just like trash and unneeded. And I think it was just like there's no point in putting that information about Zoro. I think that the only reason he put that is so people would get off his ass and understand that that's it for Zoro. There's no more. Stop expecting it. Otherwise, people would just be on his ass until the end of the series. They'd be on him for that, right? So he's just like, get off my back, basically. But me personally, I'm like, man, it's it's almost insulting. It's like, just don't even put it. Don't even put it. And I think it's actually better for Zoro's character to leave that mystery rather than do it the way you did it. Just don't even put it. How strong do you think Zoro? Theory: Onimaru, Fox to Zoro. Wano was known as Land of Gold. Kaido to Yamato. I'm here because it's Wano. The numbers and the Onigashima skull from the race of the continent puller. Oars? The numbers and the Onigashima skull from the race of the continent puller. Oars' race. Yeah, a lot of people think that skull is Oars, the original Oars. It's his skull. If Wano wasn't rushed, how much longer do you think it would have been? Oh my goodness. I don't even think Wano was rushed. I think the ending of the raid was rushed. That's the thing. It's like I hate talking. I really don't like talking about Wano. As time passes, I feel better about it. But it's still like him dropping that SBS is just bringing back Wano flashbacks. It's why even remind everyone of Wano again in such a negative way once again. But the thing that bothers me about Wano, that really bothers me, but I think it's just a mistake from Oda, in my opinion, right? Who am I to say what's his mistake? That's just what I think. But he drew out the beginning so much. He milked it and milked it and milked it and milked it and milked it. Act 1, Act 2, and then the raid. Even the raid, you know, how long did it take Luffy to get to the roof? How many chapters and episodes did it take Luffy to get to the roof? And what was he doing that time? Fuck all. He wasn't doing anything. He was just bumping into people, right? Bumping into Sanji, bumping into Jinbei, bumping into, what's their names? Shishilian or something? Inuyasha's guys. Or not Inuyasha. Inuyasha's guys. The Three Musketeers. Bumping into all these people. He's not doing anything. Why not just put him on the roof so you can start Roof Piece and go on from there? Because everything from Roof Piece to the end mattered. Even if some stuff got dragged out. But then towards the end, towards the final 15 or so chapters of Wano, he rushed that so hard. Sanji's fight, Zoro's fight, Frankie's fight, Robin's fight. Why not make them longer? You know what? Remove Zoro's fight. I think Zoro's fight was a decent length, and we got to see a little bit of Zoro's flashback. Sanji's fight even, but like Robin and Jinbei's fight was just information. It wasn't even a fight. It was just to give us the information on Nika. Robin and Frankie, their fights. And then Law Kid and against Big Mom, I think, was rushed towards the ending too. Like everything was rushed towards the end, but dragged down the beginning. So it's like you drag out the part that is supposed to lead to the good stuff, and then the good stuff comes and goes like that. That's what bothered me about Wano. What's up? What do you think? Oh, what's up, Cosmos? Welcome. We just read the chapter. We just read chapter 1077. I gave my thoughts on it, and now we're going over SBS 105. And we're talking about... We just finished... Basically, I'm done talking about Zoro for now. And I want to talk about Chopper, and then I want to talk about Otama last. Do you believe Kid will beat Shanks? I mean, we all know the... Oh, yes. I didn't even talk about... I did the live reaction to that chapter, but... I do want to make a video about that topic, Kid and Shanks. You know what? I'll save that for a video topic. But I will say... I don't think it's going to look good for Kid. I really don't. But I think there's a chance someone big might interfere in that fight. Someone really big. Maybe as big as Shanks might interfere in that fight. Because Kid can't really go down he can't. I think Shanks will destroy Kid, and Kid can't be destroyed like that. He really can. The more I think about it now, I'm like, sure, it's going to be about Shanks and it's going to hype up Shanks, but we can't do Kid so dirty, right? Not to mention the key to get to Laugh Tale are road poneglyphs created by people of Wano. If Oda actually wrote post Wano instead of skipping it, the arc would be vastly improved. I'll be honest, I didn't care about post Wano. I cared about the stuff outside of Wano, the country, like the stuff with Kobe, Hancock, Blackbeard, Law. Law was Egghead. Long Blackbeard was Egghead. But what else was there? There was something else. It wasn't just the Captain Kobe incident. There was the cross guild stuff. There was a lot of things that I cared about, but the stuff in Wano, like Luffy and Zoro waking up, you know what? It's fun to get stuff like that, and it was rushed. It was rushed in a good way. Like it wasn't too long. It wasn't dragged out. I shouldn't say rushed. It wasn't dragged out. By that point, I was just so sick of Wano. Oda fumbled Wano. He didn't know what he was cooking. I think he made a lot of. He tried a lot of things out that didn't work. That's why Wano is still a mystery. Yeah, but I think a lot of answers to Wano is meant to be held until Endgame, right? Like even the stuff Big Mom was saying about the answers being in Wano, and I have a lot of good theories. Man, if I only had the time to like get these videos out, upload them, because I have so many great theories right now. I have a really good theory about Wano, and specifically about the Wano underneath, the original Wano 800 years ago. And I think I know why it's there and how it got to be like that. And I think it's a very specific reason. That's why Wano is still a mystery. Reread the whole theory, please. I feel like instead... What theory? I feel like instead of Kid losing his arm, Kid might lose his entire crew to Shanks, and Shanks might feel sorry for Kid. I don't think Shanks will feel sorry, because even like we heard about Shanks' character, he likes to like take arrogant up-and-comers. He likes to take them down a notch, right? But now let me talk about Chopper. Chopper on SBS 105. So Should Oda have covered Chopper? Okay, before we get into whether or not he should cover it, should Chopper be able to cure a smile? I don't really care if Chopper's able to cure a smile or not, but I will say this. I don't think it makes sense whatsoever for Chopper to be able to cure every disease on the planet. And I know some people are saying it's easy to say this in hindsight after the SBS, but come on. Who's going to cure every single sickness in the planet? The point of Chopper's flashback, and I'll be honest with you guys, Chopper is by far my least favorite Straw Hat, so I don't care about Chopper too much. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I know that's not a popular thing to say, and I know that might bother some people, but I can't lie to you guys. I for the most part, don't give a shit about Chopper. I really don't. But the point of Chopper's flashback was that he couldn't cure Dr. Hiruluk, right? He couldn't cure that one person that was close to him. So I don't remember personally if Chopper's goal was to cure every single thing on the planet. But if you had told me that and I remembered, I'd probably be like, that's a bit ridiculous. Maybe it's going to happen because it's an anime. But I think it's more so he can cure any sickness that comes to his friends, right? So if Luffy gets sick end of series, like a lot of people think, then Chopper needs to step up and cure that. But does he need to cure every single thing in the world? No. Plus, a smile is not a sickness. I think it would be so dumb if we took all this hype for the smile fruits and not hype, but build up and how they work and how sad it is. How sad it was for Killer that he was forced to eat one and is always laughing now. If Chopper can just come in here and cure it. And Chopper right now is not the best doctor. So that means there are multiple doctors in the world that could have just came and cured this thing the whole time. Yet you have all this, what did Kaido call that group that ate the smiles and were laughing all the time? I don't remember. They weren't the gifters. They were the other group. Whatever. That entire group plus Killer plus everyone else that ate it, it wouldn't make sense. Like, all that's for nothing. That's what I hate when we get all that for something. Like all that talk about how dangerous smiles are. If we're just going to erase it by Chopper coming in and be like, oh, by the way, I'm a doctor. My character is that I'm a doctor and that I'm supposed to cure everything. So I'm just going to cure this now. No, that makes no sense. It's not even a sickness. It's a permanent side effect to something that you ate that's unnatural entirely. Completely unnatural. So why would Chopper be able to cure it? Now, the question would be, okay, so if I think that Chopper should not be able to cure it, should they have shown, because a lot of people are saying that Chopper shouldn't be able to cure it, but they should have shown post Wano a scene or something where Chopper understands that he can't cure everything. So he at least gets that character development. And I'll be honest, even though I don't agree with this, I think, and I'll tell you guys why I don't agree in a second. I think this is a better argument than Chopper should have cured it. I think that's just like, come on. But again, even if Chopper cured it, I'm not going to say that in itself is ridiculous. Just him curing everything rather than the one specific thing. Don't expect him to cure everything. No doctor in the world, even in fiction, is going to cure everything. That's not how it works. He just needs to be the best doctor and to be able to cure any disease that comes to his friends. That comes to Luffy, that comes to any of his Nakama. He needs to be able to save them, right? Because that's what's going to redeem him losing Dr. Hiruluk. It's not going to be curing every single thing in the world. It's going to be the next time one of his friends or a loved one is in the same position as his former doctor and his mentor and basically his father, he will be there for them. And he will be a good enough doctor that he can save them. You know what it is? It's basically Luffy saying, okay, I lost, you remember when Luffy lost Sabo when he was a kid and he said, I want to get stronger and stronger and stronger so I never lose anyone again? Well, he lost Ace. He got stronger and stronger and stronger, and Ace still died, and he still lost Ace. And what happened? He understood. Jinbei brought the reality to him that you can continue to get stronger and you can be as strong as possible so that in these scenarios, think about how many times he saved them. He saved Nika Robin in Enies Lobby. He basically saved every single Straw Hat when he recruited them, right? He saved the people of Arlong Park. He saved the people in Skypiea from Enel. He saved the people in Alabasta from Drell. So since he made that promise on that mountaintop after Sabo died as a kid to Ace, he has done that 99% of the time. The one time it failed was Ace. And that's a message that, hey, this is real life. there's no such thing as perfection. You're never gonna. That's like Luffy saying, "I'm never gonna lose anyone ever again, no matter what, no matter how much no matter how close or how unclose I am to them. Even if I just met them that one time, like let's say Leo in Dressrosa, if he's in trouble, is Luffy gonna go and be able to save every single person? No, he's not gonna be perfect, but he's gonna be as close to it as he can possibly be. And even now, Luffy, the best thing about Luffy post time skip is his mindset. He's come to that realization now. People are gonna die. I mean, he told Vivi that in Alabasta, but now he understands that sometimes people you know and you care about will die. He knows that because of Ace, firsthand. But the stronger he gets, the less and less likely that's going to be. So that's how I see it. Like Chopper being able to cure everything is like Luffy being able to protect every single human being on the planet from dying if he doesn't want them to die. And even if Luffy becomes top 1 in the series, he himself is going to know because of the character development that he had that Jinbei helped him realize too. No matter how strong you get, you're not going to save every single person's life that matters to you. Sometimes people die. That's just life. And sometimes you can't cure stuff. So in terms of Chopper, and I'll read the comments in a second, guys, but I don't want to lose my train of thought here. So should Oda have shown Chopper getting this realization? This is my take on it. Chopper's, ever since post-time skip, ever since we came back from post-time skip, Chopper has been redeemed to nothing more than a mascot. Nami has been redeemed to nothing more than a ring girl. Half-naked ring girl all the time. Certain characters, Sanji too, up until Whole Cake Island, was basically nothing more than like, I don't want to use the word simp, but like he was nothing. He was a gag. He was a running gag, and the reason I say that is because it's not even because his simpish tendencies were taken to a whole new level, but it was so focused on that he was no longer recognizable. His basic fundamental traits of who Sanji is, that Sanji is one of the most kind-hearted people in the entire series. Like, when you take the jokes aside, the reason I understand why people love Sanji, why he's their favorite character. He's one of the most purest hearts in the story. And to see him in Fishman Island tell Jinbei, go kill yourself if you're, apologize to Nami or go kill yourself, showed me that he's now nothing more than a gag, because the simping for Nami part of his character mattered more than Sanji's character and his kind heart and his love for everyone and understanding. Sanji is one of the best characters in One Piece because of, it's hard to draw a character. It's hard to write a character as great as Sanji. I'll say that straight up. I'm a Zoro fanboy, but Sanji is top 3-4 best written characters in the series. And before Whole Cake Island, from the beginning of post time skip to right before Whole Cake Island, Sanji was redeemed to nothing more than than a gag for the simping that he does, right? So characters like Chopper, Nami, Sanji, Oda hasn't cared about them the entire post time skip. Why are people expecting him to care about Chopper now? Luffy just beat Kaido. We just had a 4.5 year long arc, and you think he's gonna be like, oh yeah, hold on, people are telling me to rush this and get on. It's been so long, but before we do, let me now decide after 12 plus years to focus on Chopper as a character again. No, to me it's already too late. That's it. Like, the characters that he has actually given their due, their fair share of development and time to, considering how important for Straw Hat they are, you have to take that into account too, right? Because like, you can't expect Brook to be as focused on as Zoro, right? Luffy, Nico Robin, Brook, and Jinbei. Luffy, Nico Robin, Brook, and Jinbei. Those characters have been handled well post time skip. Everyone else, no. But the worst of the worst, Chopper and Nami, personally, I've given up on as characters. I love them. I hate Chopper, but I love Nami as a character. But I'm like, Oda's not gonna do anything with her from now on. He's gonna do more with Robin because she matters more endgame. He's not really gonna do anything else with Nami from here on. That's like major. Because remember, Nami's like the third Straw Hat. She's kind of like, she's almost like the third main character of the story, you can say, right? But how much character development does Nami really get? Like, yeah, she gets her stuff with Zeus when she's fighting, but aside from that, Sanji gets way more than just fighting. Sanji gets focused on. I forgot about Sanji, by the way, when I was naming characters. And Zoro doesn't need it. I'm a big Zoro fan, but I'll tell you actually, Zoro does not need that. Zoro simply needs to be the world's strongest swordsman. No need to get into his character like you do everyone else. But that's why I don't care about seeing Chopper come to this realization that he can't cure something, because it's not like we've been paying attention or focusing on Chopper and his character development for the past decade anyway. So why should we start caring now? And Usopp. Let me talk about Usopp. I would throw Usopp in the category with Chopper and Nami, because Usopp's main goal and his only goal is to be the bravest warrior in the sea. And to this day, he's made probably 1% progress. He's still a major coward. And yes, it's gags, it's fun, and he does step up. I'll give him credit. He steps up now. He does step up when it's like do or die. But did he always? Wasn't Usopp's entire character ever since Syrup Village that he's a coward, but when absolutely faced with doing what's right, like when being a coward, it means you're running away from what's truly right, he's always been brave in that scenario, but he just wants to be brave altogether. So he hasn't really changed. Usopp hasn't changed. But the reason I keep Usopp away from the reason I don't give up on Usopp, I think you guys know exactly why too, is because of the arc that's coming up next, and it's Elbaf. And I think Usopp, look, I don't care about Zoro getting any character focus. I never have. This SBS doesn't really bother me like that. But if Usopp does not get his character development and his time with his character, if he gets rushed, and if Elbaf is to Usopp what Wano is to Zoro, that's gonna piss me off way more, because Usopp needs Elbaf. We wanted Zoro to get Wano. He didn't need it. Usopp absolutely needs Elbaf. If Usopp doesn't get Elbaf, then this is telling me that Oda now doesn't care about the Straw Hats and is just trying to get Luffy to Pirate King as quick as possible and end the story. Otherwise, give Usopp a full-on flashback. Let him meet Yasopp, or let that be a part of the story arc there. Let him reunite with Dory and Broggy. Let him become braver. Let him leave. By the time Usopp leaves Wano, he should no longer be a part of the Weakling Trio. And I remember post time skip, he was like, "Oh, I'm no longer part of the Weakling Trio." He got all jacked and stuff, and he became a part of the Weakling Trio. He didn't really change. Good, because there's no reason for him to really change there. Let him change in Elbaf. Let Elbaf be the turning point in Usopp's character, where he leaves there, and he is now like, obviously he's not going to be a part of the Monster Trio, and he doesn't need to be unafraid of anything that comes his way again. But he should no longer just be crying and running away from everything after Elbaf. So that's why I'm holding Usopp away from that. But do I have high hopes in that happening? I don't know. I'm trying not to set any crazy expectations anymore after Wano. So those are my thoughts on Zoro and Chopper. Let me catch up with the chat here, and then let me read some of these comments, and then we'll talk about Otama last. Also, let me know if you guys agree with what I'm saying or not, because I do want to hear your guys' opinion on this. So Chopper's dream was always the weirdest. Yeah, so I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't remember word for word what Chopper's dream was, but I watched Chopper's backstory, and I just took it like, look, the guy lost Dr. Hiruluk because he was incompetent, and he had every right to be incompetent. He was a little kid. He was he was helpless, right? This guy took him in, and unfortunately, he kind of caused him to die too by feeding him poison, I think. It's been a long time. But, okay, all he needs to do is become a great enough doctor that anytime someone he cares about is in that position again, he's able to save them. That doesn't mean he needs to be able to save every single person on the world from every single disease on the planet. Like, no. No. I don't think that makes any sense at all. Cosmos says Chopper should not be able to cure Smile, but it's a plot hole that he didn't even try. Okay, yes, that's a better argument. It's a plot hole that he didn't try. But did he try? Did he not try? We don't know. We just didn't see. Because at this point, we're cutting out a lot, right? So who knows? Maybe he did try. Maybe it's going to come out in an SBS one day that Chopper, because again, Oda said Chopper couldn't cure it. How would Oda or Chopper or anyone else know that Chopper couldn't cure it if Chopper didn't try? It's just that we didn't see Chopper failing because, in my opinion, again, my humble opinion, we didn't need to see it. We don't. Why start focusing on Chopper now? What has Chopper done significantly since post-time skip? Brook has done a lot of things I could tell you in Whole Cake Island, even in Wano. Like, Brook has had a character development. Robin, of course, and it makes sense because the more closer to endgame you get, the more important she is. Sanji, yes, Oda focused a lot on him because he is just straight up a great character from day one. So don't waste Sanji. If anyone, do not waste Sanji. He's the best Red Straw Hat by far. But everyone else just kind of like took a backseat because look, there's only so much Oda can write in an arc now. There's only so much he could put in a chapter, so much he could put in a page, and I think he has to sacrifice a lot to put in some stuff. And he could have focused a lot on these characters had he not shown us all this unnecessary bullshit he showed us in Wano Act 1. Like, so much stuff in Wano Act 1 did not matter at all. At all. Like, I can name right now. Wano Act 1 could have been... Look, Wano Act 1 could have been Luffy arrives in Wano. He bumps into Zoro. They fight off Hawkins. They leave. They bump into, who was it again? Kinemon's wife. They learn about, just so that they learn about what's going on in Wano and how bad everyone has it, right? Okay. Then they meet up in the whole thing with Kaido one-shotting Luffy. Boom, that happens. The stuff with Law and Hawkins getting captured and fighting Hawkins. Boom, that happens. The stuff with Yasui and Yasui dying, and Zoro and Sanji and Otama and all that stuff. Or not Otama, the other girl. All that stuff. Boom, that happens. That's it. That's all you need in Act 1. Oh, and Ashura Doji, the introduction of Ashura Doji, and what's his name, and Ashura Doji fighting Jack, and then obviously the Scabbards getting together. I don't remember how Act 1 ended. Maybe I'm thinking some other stuff is Act 2, but pretty much that's all you needed in Act 1. And I say that because that's all I remember of Act 1. But it will work in some way, I guess. How far do you think Kobe power is compared to Luffy? Kobe is very weak compared to Luffy right now. I think Kobe is probably... I had him as an honorable mention in my top 30, so I guess I would have him at 31 right now in the story, like the 31st strongest character, if I'm going to be exact. But he's far behind Luffy. He's weaker than Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Jinbei. He's probably like between Frankie and Jinbei. Smile was kind of dumb. Like, why did Doflamingo hype up something that was 90% defective? It makes no sense. Yeah, I agree with that. What do you think Oda is planning to do with Kobe? We'll get into that later, maybe. Kobe will be in the top 30 end of series. Kobe will be in the top 10 end of series. Alive. The Smiles were in Wano a considerable amount of time before the Straw Hats even entered Punk Hazard, right? I feel like Chopper and Brook are the most useless members. They can't get a power up, and if they do, it might not be something centered to their fighting style. Okay, but answer me this: whose character has actually developed more post time skip, Brook or Nami? Like, Nami is the third most important Straw Hat, and her character has not developed an inch post time skip. Yeah, she cried in front of Ulti and said Luffy's the man that's gonna be Pirate King. I'll give her that. I forgot about that. That was a Nami moment. That's all I can think of. Not just in Wano, but the entire post time skip. That's all I can think of for Nami. I have given up with Nami and Chopper as characters, and I hate it because Nami was my favorite female character. She still is, but she was one of my favorite characters in the series post time skip. Her flashback, I felt for her flashback more than I felt for anyone else's, and I still do to this day. Nothing. That's what made me... Her flashback, Nami's flashback in Arlong Park, and her entire character arc there, and everything going on with it, and how great of a character she was in Arlong Park, how she tried to stop them from fighting, and she put on that brave face, and she's like, look guys, everything's alright, okay? I'm gonna take control of it. And they tell her, like, the guy hugs her, and he's like, listen, we got this. And she knows they're marching to their death, and she's done everything she can possibly do up until that point, and we followed her along the whole way. And that's when we were getting to actually learn who Nami truly is as a character. And then she just starts stabbing the Arlong tattoo on her shoulder. I don't think fictional writing gets any better than that. I don't. And I don't think a character moment has been better than that in the entire series. I honestly don't. And but I can only hold on to that for so long. That's why I love Nami, but it's like, she's basically just like a ring girl now. She's just there to look pretty. I can only, like, for us on the Nami side of the Nami versus Robin debate, look, we can only hold on to Nami side for so long. We can only... This boat is sinking. This Nami ship is sinking, and we're trying to keep it afloat, but it's got holes all over, water's dripping everywhere, And Robin's ship is just riding the waves like nothing. Max says, Oda clearly loves Sanji. Yes, he does. Worst Sanji moment. I feel like Chopper and Brooke are the most. Yes, okay. Question for you, Nature Boy. Usopp versus Buggy. Who wins? Tell me. Condoriano. Oda must not understand how unappealing perv jokes are to Western fans because Oda favorites characters gotta be Sanji. I don't... Okay, here's the thing. Pre-time skip, Sanji was a gentleman. He was a gentleman, and you could say a simp. Whatever you want to call I would just say a gentleman. Post-time skip, Sanji's a pervert. The main difference being pre-time skip, he respected women. Post-time skip, he kind of disrespects women with the way he is. It's kind of disrespectful the way he treats. Pre-time skip, he was just like, hey, these are women. They're beautiful women. Sure, he wants to get with them, and he admires how beautiful they look and all that. But he's more like, they're so gorgeous. I'm gonna be that man for them, even if I'm not their man. I'm gonna be there whenever they need me. Post-time skip is kind of just like, he just wants them. You know what I mean? He just wants them. He sees a beautiful woman, he just wants them. Without getting I want to keep it PG, so I'll just say that. And yeah, he'll like, and even if he like does something heroic for them, it's almost like so he can like get praise out of them. He's become a perv in a sense. You gave up on Nami. I gave up on Nami. I 100% gave up on Nami as a character, and she is my favorite female character in the story. What about 1077? We read 1077. When this is uploaded, if you want, you can go back and watch it. Because once this is done, just go on my page and go to live streams, and you'll be able to watch the live reaction to it. I might make separate videos of these. I might cut these out and turn them into separate videos and then upload them as videos. Up until Whole Cake Island, Luffy, Zoro, Frankie, and Usopp was the most useful. Yeah, I can agree with that. Is Usopp more durable than Chopper? Has more durability than Usopp. Okay, let me read through these. Let me speed through these so we can get to Tama. Let me read the ones that are directly referring to what we're talking about right now. Nami's dream is way weirder than Chopper's because we have seen Nami make any maps. But Nami, we don't need to see it, right? Like, we don't need to see that. We know that Nami is just writing everywhere they go. We know Nami's documenting it. Why do we literally need to see Nami documenting on the map everywhere that they go? If they go to an island, Nami is keeping track of that and how they got there, right? That's all we need to know. I think in a series, Usopp will become captain of his own crew. He is not the bravest warrior of the sea if he can't sail without Straw Hats after they disband. I think Usopp will be dead end of series because he's gonna die doing the bravest thing anyone has done in the story. I think that makes perfect sense for his character. Obviously, that might not be the case. Who knows if Oda barely kills off Scabbards or anyone? Who knows if he's going to kill off someone like Usopp? Okay, let me get back to this because I want to discuss this last part about Otama. So, we get Otama we learn that Otama is a Kurozumi. And upon finding out that Otama is a Kurozumi, everyone's like, hey, wait on. Well, hold on a second. Didn't Hiyori directly say Kurozumi were born to burn? And I think Oda said something along the lines like, oh, no. She's just talking about Orochi there. No. I don't want to say no because I don't know Oda's intentions, but that seems like you're backtracking to me because that doesn't... Okay, here's the thing. The whole reason that panel was put there with Orochi burning and Hiyori saying the Kurozumi were born to burn is to tie back full circle. Oden was born to boil. That's the whole reason it's there because Oden died in front of Orochi with the whole Oden was born to boil. So now Kurozumi are born. So this is a tongue twister. The Kurozumi were born to burn. So it's tying in there, and it's Oden was born to boil. It's not the Kozuki were born to boil. Oden is the type of food. Oden is literally like the type of food that they boil in Japanese culture and they eat, right? Like noodles, I think, or something like that. So Oden, the word Oden means food that it's supposed to be boiled and eaten. So Oden who is him. It's not Kozuki, because Kozuki would mean Momonosuke, would mean Toki, would mean Hiyori, but no, it's just Oden was born to boil, and he boiled and he died. So it's not Orochi that means charcoal. Orochi does not mean charcoal. I don't know Japanese, so I don't know what Orochi means, but in that same page where Hiyori says that, the guy who's talking to the kids or whoever it was, in the narrator or whatever, was like, Kurozumi means charcoal. So now let's all say along. The Kurozumi were born to burn, and it's showing Orochi burning. So Orochi can't be singled out there because it's the Kurozumi, and they specifically make a point to say Kurozumi means charcoal. So the Kurozumi are born to burn. And not only this, you could still say, well, maybe it's just because, Kurozumi, that he's not going to change his name around now that he decided Otama is a Kurozumi. Maybe it's just, sure, it's his last name, but it can still mean just Orochi. And I would agree with you there. But what was Orochi's entire motive for doing what he did? It was because of how wrong the people of Wano treated the Kurozumi, right? But why did they treat the Kurozumi that way? Because they showed us in the flashback that the original Kurozumis were snakes. That was the whole point. The Kurozumis were snakes. They were, I think one of them was the daimyo. There were 5 daimyos, and he killed all the rest of them so he can sneak his way into being the shogun once the shogun died. Or I think the shogun was sick or something. Something along those lines, where the shogun needed a successor soon, and it was supposed to be a civil discussion between the 5 daimyo, but the Kurozumi one killed the rest with sneaky tactics and shit, like poisoned them and whatever, and he was the sole survivor. So they're already telling us from Act 1 of Wano, they're already showing us, excuse me, so from Act 1 of Wano, they're already making the point to us that the Kurozumi are not good people. This is already a point. Not all of them, of course, because in the middle, so it was like the evil Kurozumi, and then after that generation were the ones that were innocent, that had to like take all the shit that was unfair and unjust. And then there was Orochi, who then, because of that middle one, is now going to turn evil again and do all that stuff. So they made a point to make the Kurozumi look bad. So it was very clear that when Hiyori said the Kurozumi are born to burn, they're talking about the clan. They're just evil to begin with, because the whole reason Wano was the way it was and everything happened the way it happened, the whole reason Orochi was in charge, who's spamming this? Who's spamming the chat? Was because of the Kurozumi of the past, not even just Orochi. So no, I'm calling bullshit on that. I'm absolutely calling bullshit. I don't understand why he made Otama a Kurozumi, but it doesn't make sense. And I don't want to speculate on whether Oda made a mistake or Oda was thinking this in the beginning and thinking that. I don't care. Wano's already done. It's like, why even remind us of it? But this is just like extra shit on top of the shit pile that Wano already was, where it's like, oh, it's been done for a few months, but just in case it wasn't bad enough for you guys, let me throw in a bunch of more mumbo jumbo that doesn't really make sense to add in. Again, this is my opinion, and I know it's not popular, and I know people just want to hear like good things about it. And I'm not, or even if like hating it is cool, I'm not hating on it because it's cool. This is Wano and Fishman Island are the only arcs that I actually like dislike in the entire story. Even filler. I like One Piece filler. I like everything about One Piece. But every single thing about Wano, from before it started and the false hype around it, to the waste of Kid as a character, the waste of Big Mom, just so much stuff that just didn't make sense. It was like trying to juggle 30 juggling balls when you can only really juggle 3, and then the other 27 just fall all over the ground, right? Or like you're trying to juggle 30 eggs and you only get 3, and 27 fall on the ground and break everywhere. That's Wano. Oda tried to juggle way more than he can handle. So those are my final thoughts on Otama, Zoro, Chopper, all of that stuff with the SBS breakdown. I'm going to read your comments now. Comment down if you guys agree, and I'll read those too before we end. We're probably going to end it in the next 5 or 10 minutes. But I want to know your guys' thoughts, because this says One Piece 1077 reaction. an SBS breakdown, but I really wanted to talk about the SBS because I was felt really passionate about this, kind of being a Zoro fan, right? And just everything in general. Wano just gets something out of niggas, man. It brings out it brings out the fire in you. Have I missed 1077 reaction? Yes, Chaz. Sorry you missed it. But once I close this, just go to my channel and click on, instead of videos, click on the live reaction part, or what's it called, streams. Click on streams. It will be there, and in the very beginning will be my live reaction and discussing, because I live reacted to it and then we discussed it. So that will be there. Don't worry. And we're probably gonna end soon. And then you can watch it from start to finish if you want. Okay, is Chopper more durable? No, Nami's dream is way weirder than Chopper's. I think I read that one. Usopp meeting Yasop in Elbaf would be so great, but would obviously need to do it in a way where Luffy and Shanks don't actually meet. I'll be honest. I want Usopp and Yasop to meet, but I don't want Luffy and Shanks to meet. It's not that I don't want them to meet. I don't know if they met. I don't know where the story would go from there. But that's a bad habit too, trying to predict everything, right? It's a bad habit where like you think like just because it's not going where you want it to go, that's a problem. No, it's not. Just because I personally think that Luffy and Shanks are never gonna meet, and Blackbeard's going to kill Shanks before they can ever meet. But it can go so many different ways. I think end of series Usopp will become captain of his own crew. I read that one. I forgot Hawkins actually had moments in Wano. Hawkins had more moments in Wano than 90% of the Straw Hats. Frankie with Shogun, Brooke with Shogun. Kobe's 31. That would put him over Queen and everything. I think Kobe's stronger than Queen. Call me crazy. I think Captain Kobe is stronger than Queen. Will Kobe ever get list at level of Luffy? No. Because Kobe wants to be an admiral. Luffy wants to be Pirate King. I don't think those two are comparable. Even though Pirate King is not tied to strength, it kind of is. We know it's like you're gonna be stronger than Yonko on average, right? Straw Hat strength end of series: Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Jinbei, Usopp, Robin. I would put Usopp above Jinbei and maybe Sanji. But then again, that's what I would have said pre-time skip or early post-time skip. Now I don't think characters' motivations and dreams matter that much anymore. I really don't. As crazy as that sounds, I don't think the Straw Hats, their dreams and their motivations, like how much are we actually getting of Usopp becoming braver? The way they made it seem pre-time skip with his dream was like, and him coming in earlier than Sanji, I thought he would eventually surpass Sanji once he found himself, you know? Come on, brother. No fictional moment is more perfect than Arlong Park. I love Arlong Park. I do. For me. This is all my opinion, right? Like, for me, Arlong Park is peak One Piece. But then I say that about a lot of arcs too. But I'm talking in more so about a character moment where like you feel, to me, okay, so when I say that, I mean when you connect with a character. There are 3 times in the story that it almost felt like like that person was in real life. How much you felt, whether it was anger for them, whether it was you felt sorry for them, you felt sad with them, whatever it was, you connected with the way that character was feeling in that moment because of everything that built up to that moment. 3 moments in the story that did this for me. The third most impact, I would say, was Luffy when Ace died right in front of him. When Ace's body dropped right in front of him, and when he left Marineford and he was crying in front of Jinbei, you feel for Luffy, man. You really feel for Luffy. The second would be Nami in Arlong Park right then and there when she's stabbing her arm. And I know I just said that's probably the best moment, but no, there's one that I connect with a character more than that, and that would be Sanji when he fought Luffy and he was leaving Whole Cake Island. Not leaving Whole Cake Island. When he beat up Luffy and he was leaving, and Luffy gave him that speech, and you see Sanji crying. I have never felt for a fictional character more than I felt for Sanji when Luffy was saying, "You can't fool me. Every time you kicked me, the one that was hurting was you." And you just see he's in so much like grief. He's just covering his face. He just gives up. He's just like covering his face, tears everywhere. He's just like, I don't know what to do. That was like the best. Man, the way Oda treats Sanji is like Sanji might be the best character in One Piece, like in terms of writing. I think it's Whitebeard, but I think Sanji is easily top 5, easily. If you ask me, when Sanji gets serious, he reveals all the strength from time skip mixed with his genetics. Usopp body looks barbaric, but when it comes to fighting, Usopp just sweats so hard. Usopp reminds me of King in One Punch Man. I haven't watched One Punch Man. I watched like 2 episodes of it, and that was it. No, I meant, how could you say you gave up on Nami because of 1077? No. I didn't give up on Nami because of 1077. No. I gave up on Nami years ago. Bro, I'm saying in general, post time skip, Nami has been reduced to a ring girl. That's her character. You know how ring girls are just like in the bikini and just walking around. They look nice in between rounds. That's Nami. That's like, tell me I'm wrong. That's Nami. And then not Usopp, Chopper has been reduced to a mascot for the crew. So those two characters especially haven't even like been characters to me. They've just been like gags. It's like, what's the main thing about Nami? Pretty. Okay. What's the main thing about Chopper? Cute. That's all they are, because I don't have time for them right now. I need to focus on Sanji, get through Whole Cake Island. I need to focus on Luffy. I need Zoro to beat this guy. And they didn't get anything. They missed out. It's kind of sad. But Nami has to document everything, even the top and bottom of the Grand Line. I have no idea who we talking about. Oda can't kill Usopp. He would have had to have planned his death from the very start, and I don't feel like Usopp has death flags. I think Usopp is the most likely major character, not even Straw Hat, major character. Well, aside from villains, right, like Blackbeard. I think Usopp is the most likely major character to die at this point in the story. But again, that is only if we continue to focus, or if Oda goes back to focusing on characters and their original motivations and their original dreams. But it seems like that's not important anymore. Like, we don't get much about that stuff at all anymore. Characters and their like why they are a Straw Hat to begin with, why they chose to set out to sea. Usopp chose to set out to be brave, to be the bravest man in the sea, and we don't get much of that. Cosmo says, mod me, I gotta get this kid. I don't know how to mod. If I knew how to mod, I would mod. I would mod you right now. Let me see. Cosmos, right here. You asked for it, you get it. Standard, add as managing as a standard. Okay, there you go. Cosmos, congratulations. You are the first moderator of this channel. Simply because you asked. There's a life lesson right there. Go for it, and you just might get it. GR Max. So please delete this guy's comments. What will Brook development be like? His power boost. What is it gonna be? I don't know. I just want to stick on topic right now. So Cosmo says Tama isn't a good person either. I agree. I'm not saying. Hold on a second. I'm not saying Tama's not a good person. I'm saying Tama being a Kurozumi doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. Yes, she can be She can be a Kurozumi, but acknowledge the clusterfuck there. Don't say, oh no. Hiyori just meant Orochi when she said the Kurozumi were meant to burn. No, she meant the Kurozumi. So the moment you put Tama as a Kurozumi, you're basically saying Hiyori wants Tama to burn. Okay, I ain't spamming no more. I agree. By the way, don't kick this guy, Lucci. Just mute him, if anything. I don't know why you're spamming, bro, but can't take any more chances. Cosmo says Kid and Big Mom weren't wasted nature. They are coming back. I think Big Mom's coming back, and I think, you know what? I don't think Big Mom is wasted as a character at all. I think Big Mom is actually one of the most focused on characters post time skip for her character, but I think she was wasted in terms of a fighter, which I care about a lot. I do. I'm not gonna lie. And then Kaido's the complete opposite. Kaido and Big Mom are complete opposites. Kaido got all the hype, all the moves, all the chapters of him fighting, and all these moves. He was not wasted at all. He could not have been used more as a fighter, but he was completely wasted as a character. So if you took Big Mom's character and Kaido's fighting, you might have the best character of Wano. You would have the MVP of Wano. I got 5 minutes to try and get stream ban bet. Okay, you know what? Block this guy. Block this Lucy guy. Block him. Just kick him. Kick him off. Sanji fights the Gorosei that looks like hit Zoro from fight the Gorosei with sword. Jinbei fights the Gorosei. Okay, I'm just gonna stick to topic. I'm just gonna stick to whichever one's talking about the SBS right now. Where do we power skill current Kobe? We talked about this. Kobe over Yonko Commander is what is the obsession with Kobe in the chat right now? Kobe over Yonko Commander is absolutely nutty. Queen was extremely incompetent. Queen couldn't really. I don't know because maybe if Queen was fighting a non-straw hat due to story reasons, he would be more competent. But that's basically what I power skill off of narrative. I told you guys like narrative is my main sort. Like that's the number one. Then is feats. So Kobe wants to be an admiral. He's one of the first characters in the story, and we haven't seen him fight in a very long time. And we know he's the hero of the Rocky Point incident. So are you telling me that the next time we see him fight, you don't think he's going to be stronger than Queen? It's not going to be bigger feats than Queen? If you could reread my theory higher up before ending, I would be glad. Peace. Okay, Ringo. 1 second. My previous comment, that's why Wano's still a mystery. Not to mention the key to get to Laughdale and the road polygraph created by... Okay, theory. Onimaru, I read this one. To Zoro, Wano was known as the land of gold. Kaido to Yamato, I'm here because it's Wano. The numbers, as in the monsters, and the Onigashima skull from the race of the continent Puller, dressing a parallel between... I did not read this part. Dressing a parallel between Wano and Jaya. A part of land and the gold was hidden by the giants and become Laughdale, just like the knock-up stream created Skypiea. Dressing a parallel between Wano and Jaya. A part of the land of the gold was hidden by the giants. So are you saying the numbers and Onigashima, the numbers hid a part of Onigashima? Not to mention the key to get to Laughdale and World Polygraph created by the people. Or are you saying Wano is a key to the One Piece? And Skypiea might have been a key to the One Piece as well. That's why Wano's still a mystery. Okay, yeah. I see what you're saying. Ringo. And that is an interesting point. We didn't get too much on the numbers. That's an interesting theory. Let me keep reading. Hold on. That is a very interesting theory, though, Ringo. There's not enough details to fully go into. You know what I mean? Like what about the numbers? Are you saying the numbers hid part of Onigashima, or part of the land of Golden Wano, or that is Onigashima, or that a part of Wano and a part of Skypiea could be a part of Laughdale together? Or like what? Drums of Liberation. I can't time out the kid spamming. They left, I guess. That's okay. He probably left. No, he's right here. Remember what Pudding said, Nature. Big Mom is probably alive. Big Mom is alive. Big Mom is 100% alive, and she's not done in the story. Kaido's done. Scaling based on narrative, so hard. Okay, you know what? Yeah, okay. Something's going on. I can't time out this kid. Scaling based on narratives is so hard in One Piece because of how much Oda hypes antagonists for each new arc. No, okay, but when Oda hypes antagonists, you gotta look at his implications, right? I think people ignore the implications. Like Kaido, how many times did he go around directly saying Kaido's the strongest? He will say Kaido's kind of the strongest. It's like saying, hey, this is Michael Jordan. He's the greatest basketball player of all time. This is Messi. He's the greatest footballer of all time. This is I don't know, LeBron James. He's a great player. He's won all defense. He's won I don't know what's it called, all offensive. He's put up great numbers in his career. He's won 5 rings. He's done this. He's really good. Some people say he's the greatest of all time. He's up there in those debates. He's done this. He's done that. That's more evidence that they're not the best. When you could directly say this person is this person is this, like he does with Whitebeard and Mihawk, but then swoop around it every time he mentions strength with Kaido, it's implying Kaido is not the strongest, but I want you to think he is right now so that you invest in this arc, but then later on when someone like Shanks pulls up, or Mihawk or Dragon, and you're like, wait, I thought you said Kaido's the strongest. You go back and you read it and you're like, I never said Kaido was the strongest. That's what that is to me. I'm getting error messages. Giant skull of Onigashima hide a part of Wano with the gold. I think if that was the case, we would have gotten a little bit about it, because Oda likes to give a little bit and then leave some as a mystery. Like he did with Sukiyaki, Robin, and Law. He showed us the old Wano. So, you know what? I think what you're saying could be true, but rather than this Onigashima, the old Wano underwater could be a part of the City of Gold. Who knows? Okay, I'm out. Strongest creature is very vague. Lancy and Air is simply built different. Yeah. But, all right, guys. Thank you guys for pulling up. Cosmos, Ringo, Boro, who was here earlier. Branks, Drums of Liberation. I think I said Cosmos. GR Max. Who else? Anyways, all of you guys. John Phillips. I didn't realize you were here. I did not realize that was you. What's up, bro? Usab meeting Yasab and Elvaf would be great. Yes, Chaz, Turn, all you guys. Thank you guys for pulling up. How long did we go? I said I wanted to go about an hour and a half, 2 hours. We went an hour and 45 minutes. Perfect. Thank you guys for joining us. What? How later? Thank you guys for joining me on this live stream to live react to 1077 and break down the SBS. This is going to be up, so you guys can always go back and watch this later. I might clip this. I might cut out parts and clip this into videos. Like separately do a 1077 live reaction, upload that, and then separate that 105 breakdown and upload that. But appreciate you guys being here. As always, stick around. I'm going to try and have some videos out real soon for you guys. And